A separation. The title draws your attention to one separation and several other relationships. The most visible separation is that between Nadar and Simin, and then there is a separation between the state and its citizens. Later on, we will also see why the point of class difference is the cornerstone of this movie. The relationship and separation between religion, faith, values, and belief, man and his past, a nation and its culture, its history, between father and daughter, son and father, mother and daughter, parents, and even unborn children. The list goes on. But the point is, all these are interrelated. The web of connections and the forces that pull each of them apart lie intertwined. Watch this scene and watch how the movement of characters visualize these connected relationships. We have the workers, including the housemaid, waiting at each end to get their wage issues resolved. Nadar and Simin handle their own set of problems. Even while two characters are talking to each other, a third or even a fourth character cuts through their conversation. The entire movie follows this visual pattern of interlinking of characters and the ideologies. These characters and ideas are constantly trying to separate and trying desperately to cling back onto each other. Asghar Farhadi's opening sequences are very loaded ones. His earlier film About Ellie opens with a bunch of Iranian youth emerging out of a ballot box, screaming euphorically. In his 2016 movie The Salesman, we visit bedroom of the main characters, which is heavily cracked due to the damage caused to the foundation of the building. Similarly, a separation scans the identification documents of Iranian citizens. And just after the opening credits, Nadar and Simin present their case directly to the camera, as if the viewers are the judges. In the very first scene after the credits, we see all the characters framed or boxed. The camera sees them from the other side of a barrier. This is how the camera introduces the characters to us. They are all trapped, and all of them want to get out of the confinements in one way or the other. In a frame occupied more or less completely by the man, she has to squeeze her voice out to present her case. The technique of building a cinematic idiom by combining two or more symbolic references to convey an idea is best employed by Farhadi. The girl draws on the whiteboard an image of herself different from the others, but the adult Simin wipes it off. And with the national flag authoritatively waving on the outside, Simin covers herself with the headscarf, followed by the image of the girl's mother wearing the body veil. The paradox of the old man who cannot remember anything from his past being updated about daily news is a very powerful representation of the contradictions in all these relationships. The movie is also about the collective memory of a nation, its history, its culture, its existence, and survival. Use of basements, semi-basements, and staircases to signify the class difference has been popularized by the Korean filmmaker Bong Joon in his 2019 movie Parasite. Here, Nadar and Simin take the escalator down when they meet Hoja's family together for the first time. In another scene, when the workers block the path of Simin and they start demanding a higher wage, Simin could not agree to it. But when her upward movement gets blocked, she reluctantly pays their additional wage and gets her path cleared. Explicit references to the issue of class differences is too hard to miss in this movie. As if such references are not enough, we see Hojat, who belongs to the class that has nothing to lose, repeatedly emphasizing it in several situations. This movie can also be approached as a comprehensive study on morality and values. All the characters are seen caught between their individual convictions and pragmatic compromises. The decisions they take in such situations of dilemma is what moves the story frame by frame. Nadar sticking to his principle of not offering blood money at all, and Hojat's resolve not to receive it are ultimately compromised. The teacher who swore by the Quran later changes her affidavit. Razia has her values firmly tied down to her religion. Every time she faces a dilemma, she goes back to her religion for guidance. Thrame is the moral compass for Nadar. She acts as if She is his conscience keeper, asking the most relevant questions that brings him back on track. The fear of losing his moral reference might be one of the reasons he doesn't want to let her go. But then, do we see the transformation of Treme herself from being an innocent child to that of a compromised adult in due course? When Treme sees her teacher swear that Nadar doesn't know about Razia's pregnancy, her idea of the world starts changing. And when she realizes that his father is corrupted too, it was more of a coming of age moment for her. She realizes this is the way the world operates and she has to adjust herself to the reality. But Razia, even though being younger than Treme, has experienced similar situations well ahead in her life, has learned to lie to her father and other inquisitive elders. She has matched her moral direction to that of the rest of the world much earlier. Some of the most intense discussions between the characters take place in the kitchen of Nadar's house. The most conspicuous colors of the kitchen are green, white, and red, colors of the national flag. The dilemmas faced by the characters, their crises, their decisions are not theirs alone. With these issues the characters face and their solutions, they are all heavily chained to their country. One issue still remains unresolved. Has Razia stolen the money or not? If she hasn't, where has the money vanished? We know from conversations that it is the exact cash equivalent of what is due for Razia as her outstanding wages. And it is the same amount that Simin paid as additional wage to those who were shifting her furniture. Treme, the conscience keeper, was the sole witness to that. And of course, the audience of the movie as judges.
نمیاد ولی بفرمایید تموم شد بابا بابا در